Hi, Florence.
Hi, Karen.
The international press, a lot of reactions to Irish lawmakers legalising abortion for the first time under certain conditions.
That's right, and the Irish Independent focuses on this in their editorial today and really applauds this long overdue decision, as they call it, this welcome outcome. Now, it does say that it respects those who oppose the legislation, but this is by no means a liberal abortion regime, it says. And it says that what this legislation does is really strike the right balance between protecting the lives of expecting mothers and guaranteeing that doctors will do everything possible to protect the life of the unborn child. And the Irish Independent says that this is finally a resolution to this dilemma which had bedeviled Irish society for decades. Now, the Irish Times looks at one of the consequences of the lack of legislation, and this is the fact that Irish women would actually go abroad to countries where abortion is legal and safe to get abortions. For instance, last year, in 2012, almost 4,000 Irish women went to the UK for abortions, including 124 girls under the age of 18, and this is according to statistics published by the UK Department of Health yesterday.
And staying with the subject, the Slate looks at the situation in the US where various states are seeking to pass increasingly extreme abortion restrictions.
That's right. Now, and Slate says that this is because in 2010 there were many elections in states which brought Republicans to power, and this has given, well, abortion opponents an opportunity to try to push through these bills. For instance, in 2011 and 2012, 135 abortion restrictions passed in states. That's the biggest wave ever. And as you can see here, this is the Huffington Post responding to that, saying no choice instead of pro-choice. Now, coming back to Slate, they take a closer look at just what these restrictions are and wonders, well, are they really realistic or not? Some of them, Slate says, won't probably go into effect because that would mean that they would have to completely reverse Roe versus Wade. But there are other restrictions that are slightly sneakier, which are really worrying for pro-choice campaigners, and these are especially things called trap laws, these targeted regulations of abortion providers, basically making it complicated and expensive for clinics to provide abortions.
Okay, well, moving on to another story. The Israeli press is reacting to those reports that authorities are holding a second secret prisoner.
That's right, and a lot of journalists are calling him a prisoner, or her, prisoner Y. Now, reportedly, prisoner Y is being held in the same jail that another prisoner X was being kept in. He killed himself in 2010. Now, YEDIOTH AHARONOT takes a closer look at this. This is a piece by Ron Ben Yishai, and he points out that, well, this affair raises questions about whether the state of Israel is indeed a law-abiding state, but he points out that this secrecy has its reasons, basically state security. He says that, Israel and its citizens are under threat, and so one of the consequences of that is that the state, yes, should keep this person's identity a secret so as to protect its citizens. And while we're talking about Israel, the Wall Street Journal actually takes a look at one of the consequences of unrest in Syria and Egypt. And according to this article, regional turmoil has virtually, well, eliminated the ability of any neighboring state to invade Israel in the years to come. So Israel has basically planned a major overhaul of its forces, and it's going to basically focus more on technology and less on artillery, tanks, etc.
Okay, something completely different here. The Independent is focusing on the return of an endangered animal in Europe.
That's right, wolves. They're back. The pack is back, according to the Independent. There have been several sightings in, the Netherlands, for instance, the first wolf in 150 years, and there's a map actually in the Independent where you can see just where these wolves are coming back to.
Well, I love them. And finally, the International Herald Tribune has an article about a healthy city divided by workout.
That's right. This is Denver, Colorado, which is one of the healthiest cities in the United States. But the city has put in place new rules which restricts groups from exercising in parks, specifically groups that, classes that charge money. Now, according to city authorities, this is because personal trainers are taking unfair advantage of taxpayer-financed public space. But a lot of people say this is very hypocritical for the states, which is trying to fight against obesity, and especially for Denver, which recently legalized marijuana. For instance, there's one man who says you can smoke pot, but you can't exercise in Denver.
Okay, thank you very much for that. That was Florence with the Press Review. Well, coming up in a few minutes' time, we'll be going live to Cairo as protests by rival camps are planned for today. And in Focus, we'll have a report on security rehearsals for Sunday's Bastille Day celebrations. That's all coming up. Do stay with us.